March 9th.
Oh my God.
What is?
Somebody, I think it was Felicia, just said, I can't believe it's almost April. No, it's not even close. What? Oh, where'd my gong go? Who's oh, hit it? We can't start the meeting until it's official that we have the gong. So we need to do our on-time drawing.
Oh, here, come on, Vina.
And what's your numbers, Oren?
Brother.
He's number 12.
Oh, Vina, come on, again.
All right. For our on-time drawing, how many numbers we have? 18 with a few blanks in there. What's going to happen if we land on blank? All right, so the number is
3. Oh,
3. As she yelled
How
it
did you
out. Linda is the big winner of our on-time drawing. I have no idea what you are, but it's stuff in the bag.
Lots of surprises. Thank you. Great stuff. Look, I should pour my coffee in here so I don't spill it all over the place.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Good morning,
I did
Rosie.
that yesterday, all over my desk.
All right, so remember,
This is excellent.
take pictures throughout, do selfies throughout, take pictures of the speakers throughout, and then at the end, check in on Facebook, use the hashtags, make sure you tag me and anybody else in here. Our rev-up schedule. Tomorrow is Module 5, the residential purchase agreement. Jeff will be the instructor here tomorrow, live here and via Zoom. Working with buyers and getting your offers accepted next Wednesday. Jeff is the instructor. He's instructing both. And then next Monday, or next Friday, a week from tomorrow, is holding successful open houses. I will be the instructor on that one. When I moved to Utah, I did a boatload of open houses. I probably did 100 open houses in a couple of years there. And I'm just going to go over what I did there to generate business. And then next Wednesday, Module 9, the residential listing agreement, John is the instructor on that one. New agent, any new, and not necessarily new agents, but new to the company. We have our new agent orientation on Tuesday, March 14th, 9 to 10:30 right here in this room. Who is ready for this freaking winter to end?
Not me.
I am. You're not?
Yeah, I like it.
No, because when it gets hot, it's like blistering.
Give me that 200-degree weather. Give me that. Anyway, so it's spring forward, I guess. This Sunday means it's going to stay lighter later, which I love as well. All right. Who knows that they got a survey in the mail, email?
I did it. Yep, I did.
Who has no idea what the hell I'm talking about? No one's going to admit to it, huh? So you all received an email from Pat Kelly, and some of you said, "Who the hell is Pat Kelly?" He's just my boss. That's all. And it was what?
You have a boss.
I have a boss. One at home too. So you received an email earlier this week from Pat Kelly with a survey, and it takes, I don't know, 20 seconds, 30 seconds to fill it out. It's really super simple. It's very helpful in taking our company to the right direction. So be honest on it. If there's something that you feel the company needs, go ahead and put it in there. But make sure you get it. I wasn't supposed to say that. All right. Who was at our awards ceremony last week on Thursday? Mila, a few of you here.
Congratulations, you guys.
Yes.
Right on.
Absolute congratulations to the award winners. And for those of you that weren't there, I should say, I want to see you all there next year. I want you there. Oh, you're a team. But anyway, we had a great time. Here's some of the photos from the event, and more photos from the event. Stephanie is in some of them, and she says, I don't want to be in any of the photos. Well, tough, she was in. And she looked fabulous. So we had a great time. And every year it gets a little
Where
better.
was it?
Next year will be even better. What's that?
Where was it?
It was at a restaurant that's right over off Decatur, the 215. Hilltoro, Kappa, something or other. Yep.
Oh, I know which one.
It used to be
The French restaurant.
it used to be a French. Now it's Italian Mexican fusion. Sounds weird. All right, Zelle. Everyone knows that you can get your commissions by Zelle. General membership meeting. The LVR holds a general membership meeting like 3 or 4 times a year, and it's actually a good event. They have good speakers there every time. This time it's going to be Brian Gordon with applied analytics, applied analysis. And he's a really, really good speaker and tells us things that's going on in the Las Vegas Valley. So we have reserved 3 tables for just Realty One group. And I've already registered. It's $35 to register. However, you get a credit for $35 for when you pay any sort of licensing fees or whatever. They just do that to make sure they show. Because if you don't show, you don't get credited.
Right.
So it's a really good event. They always have CEs at the end from like 2 to 5. They have a CE class, which I go to every time. So. I'll be there. Who else? Who's registered already? A couple of you. Who's going to register?
It's really informative. I've been going for years.
Yeah.
It's great to
It's
be
great.
there and just
Really,
show our
it
presence.
really is a good event.
know,
It really
just-
is.
Realty One strong. We need to represent.
Absolutely. All right.
Can you go back to that slide real quick? Thank you.
Just go over to LasVegasRealtors.com.
Okay, I have it there?
Yep.
Okay, thank
Yep. That's where you register.
Mhm.
All right, St. Patrick's Day is coming up, March 16th. Is that next week?
Yeah.
That's next Thursday, isn't it? So no. So our St. Patrick's Day is next week. There is a sign-up sheet right over there. Sign up for bring something. I don't know what's left, but there's plenty of spaces to bring your favorite dish. Who's already signed up to bring something? I have. Yep. Softball, you want to say something? Sure. Put him on the spot.
Morning, everyone. So,
Does everybody know Paul? Also known as Tall Paul.
or softball Paul.
Or Softball Paul.
Happy birthday, Paul.
Thank you very much.
Yesterday was his birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. All right, so yes, it's that time of the season again, trying to get the softball team up and running. I have to have a roster ready by next week, I think Monday. So if you are looking to play some softball, you have a spouse or a family member who's looking to play some softball, please have them contact me. I'd say no later than tomorrow. I really gotta get this roster set. I'm still short some people, so again, I'd really like to get the Realty One group family together so we can play some softball. Yeah, come see me. The only thing I ask you have a glove. I can't supply you with your glove. Yes.
Prefer agents that have experience.
Yeah, or if you've got, if you understand the game of softball or baseball, that's helpful.
Maybe a little bit of athletic ability.
Yeah, a little bit. So anyway, if you have any questions?
No strikeouts.
It's a league. We play for 8 weeks. It's out in Henderson. We play every Friday night. It's $45 for the entire season. That takes care of the registration. That takes care of the umpire fees. And Rock Title they're pretty good. In fact, they are really good about giving us jerseys each and every year, so that we look like a real team.
Who supplies the alcohol?
Coach Paul.
Is it for this
All right.
office only, or did you reach out to the other office?
I've gone to every office, I've gone to every sales meeting, so,
Okay.
again, just, please, come talk to me. All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Paul.
Speaking of baseball, so last year we did this. We have probably 120 agents. It's open to all 4 offices, and we reserved a section. Oh, you can sign up. So it's going to be April 14th. We had.
Sorry, that was so loud.
It's so much fun. It's so much fun.
We had a blast. I mean, the weather was definitely not perfect last year.
Yeah.
It was a little cold and it was a little windy, but we still had a great time. Linda's daughter caught a ball. Well, sort of caught a ball.
I left to go get her a sweatshirt, and she comes back. I mean, when I come back, she says, "Mom, look what happened." But the funniest thing with my daughter, I don't know if you know, I have a high-functioning special needs daughter. She's like a little kid.
Adorable.
She loves mascots. She went up to Goose, and she kissed him on the cheek and says, that's the Katy Perry, I kissed a goose and I liked it. And of course, they can't talk, but it just made the night. Everybody, you saw that, and everybody just loved it. But it's a good family event.
Yeah,
It
so
really
I
is.
think we have space for like 150 or 170. It will sell out. It's I think it's $48 a ticket, but that includes dinner. It's a buffet style barbecue. It's bit. Last year the dinner wasn't too good.
These are honest.
Yeah, this year it's supposed to be barbecue. So I'm really looking forward to that. So
Where do we get those tickets?
watch for the emails.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
should come out within the next week or so.
Okay.
So much fun.
Yeah, but put it on your calendar.
Yeah.
Reserve April 14th in the evening. I've already put it on mine. That's what I'm doing that day. All right. Who's heard of 3 Square? So 3 Square is a great, they feed the homeless, they feed the needy, and every year Realty One does a one day on May 1st where we choose a charitable organization and help out in one way or another. So that is what we're doing this year. May 1st, it is a Monday, and it's going to be in the morning from like 9:30 to 12:30. We can have as many as, I believe, 20 people go there to volunteer. We will help put together box lunches and we'll do whatever they tell us to do. There's a sign-up sheet right outside on that table right there. I think we have already maybe 15 or so people that have signed up, but yeah, please sign up. It's a good event. We'll have shirts for you. All right. Every Friday, an email goes out with the open houses and or new listings. We decided to do it this way because agents would always go, "Hey, can you send this out? Can you send this out?" So we're just going to put it all in one email, and you send it to Stephanie, stephanie.wood@realty1group.com prior to noon on Thursday. So you have 2 hours and 15 minutes. And then the email goes out on Fridays.
Is it just limited to new? What if we have like a price reduction on one of
Go
our?
ahead and send it over.
Okay,
Yep.
good, thank
Yep.
you.
Any questions on that? My latest book recommendation is Ninja Selling. I literally just finished reading it. When I say read, I listen, I do Audible, and it was really, really good. And I probably go through a couple of books a month, and I'll just let you guys know, hey, this book was really good. And so if you're a reader or a listener, Ninja Selling by Larry Kendall. It's really good about how to develop your business. It is, it's sales in general, but real estate specific. He comes from a real estate background. All right, pet of the week. Who's got pet of the week? She's not here. Gunner. This must be the Argentinian way to spell that.
Yeah. There she is.
There she is. Yeah.
She hurt today.
So mine has two little tiny dogs, Chihuahuas, and then Gunner, which is like 100 pounds.
Oh, 100 pounds.
Yeah.
He's a year and 3 months.
He's a year and 3 months. Yeah. So
He eats wood and
Oh, God.
he have ate the whole frame of my door.
Oh, no.
Somebody want him?
That's why we have a picture.
but that's a great picture. I love that picture.
Thank you.
All right. Every Thursday, there's a food truck out that way somewhere. In the complex, though, every Thursday. And today, it's pizza.
Oh, wow.
I'm dieting. And my weakness is pizza. What's that?
Everybody's on a diet.
Yeah. Well.
Summer's we're trying to get our summer bod in March.
Exactly. I'm trying to get my competitive part so that I can run more. But yeah, so they have pizza stoned. I don't know, does that mean you gotta be stoned?
It's legal now.
You go out there, it'll smell like skunk. But yeah, so that's the pizza truck.
Are you breaking your diet?
No,
Good.
no.
Paul's like, we need you running, man.
Last Friday is coming up, really, it's not really coming up that soon. March 31st, we have a few weeks left, but we do, on the last Friday of every month, we do our happy hour. And beverage and snacks will be provided, although feel free to bring beverage of your choice or snacks of your choice. And we just we have a good time. It's good networking and just hanging out and having some laughs. Oftentimes at my expense. Tony. Tony.
I'm gonna take this.
Tony is with American Home Shield.
I tell him.
Welcome, Tony. What are you gonna do that?
I don't want anybody to hit me after I tell them. I'm protecting myself. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm Tony with American Home Shield, in case you don't know him, right? Anyway.
They know now.
They know now. So I have some news. Our prices are going to be changing next week. That's why I had to squeeze in earlier this month.
I'm guessing they're not getting lower.
No, that's why I brought this. So, anyway, the prices have gone up. The Shield Complete went up $40, so it's $8.15. I don't really need to tell you why. I mean, everything, the price of gas for every time a vendor goes in your driveway, that's a truck out, it costs money. I'm not gonna apologize, it's just our world and that's what's going on. It's, my heart aches every time I shop and I'm single and I think of people with families and I truly mean this. When eggs, I buy that Macayo hot sauce, it's $5, a little thing of Macayo, so I don't buy a lot, so my heart aches for people that have a lot of kids and stuff, I mean, honestly. But we are budget protection, that's what we are. We're not here to cover everything, but we are budget protection. So the Shield Complete now includes not only a rekey, you get an HVAC tune-up, once a year, so that's good news. The service fee is going up to $100. So just remember though that you can do combined. So if there's 4 electrical items, that can go on one service call. If you have your dishwasher's not working and your fridge is not working, that can go on one call. So, and those things happen where things kind of are funky, one thing happens and the microwave's not working, so they can combine that. So again, the emphasis is protecting your homeowner. And if they are able to get in a house, especially like a single person, something goes wrong, you guys, a water heater's like 16, 17, those prices aren't going down either. $1,700 for a water heater. Most people don't have an extra $500 in their savings account for any misfortune, whether it's health or their house or their car. So keep that in mind, that you present it to them and it's their choice whether they use the warranty or not, but at least present it to them, do that part and let them make the decision. But you wanna make sure you protect them because you're gonna get the call. You always are gonna get the call because it's always your fault for everything. I mean, you know what it is, no matter what. And the good stuff too, because they call you for that as well. But I'm your person to give a call, so reach out to me anytime. You can text me, you can call me, and I just hope that, you know, I can keep your support. You guys are my favorite. I mean, I love this office. You make anything fun. Every party, every event, it's always fun. You guys are just put the fun in dysfunctional like a family. So thank you all for your support, and I hope to talk to you soon.
Thank you, Tony. $1,600 for a water heater. I remember when they were like $300 or $400
Remember?
before
Yes.
you were born.
Yes, for sure.
He's got a birthday coming up.
He does. 21, he's gonna be 21?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait. Have I seen you?
No, you haven't.
No, I've never seen you. I got mistaken.
I have an older brother.
Charity, where's Charity? There she is.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Okay, I'm sure you guys always hear this. I feel like social media steals all my thunder and I don't get to share anything first.
We're never on social media.
Oh yeah, never. As you guys probably know, FHA premiums, so it's the monthly that is included in the payment, not the upfront, has gone down to 0.55 from 0.835. So honestly, on our average sales price in the 400 to 500s, that is about $140 a month in savings. So it does make a huge difference in what they can qualify for. You guys, I think I discussed it last time. We have a new down payment assistance with FHA. It's called Home Buyer's Choice. It is an internal one, so it's not with the state. They can get 3.5% or 5% towards their down payment. The interest rates, so they're not fixed like Home is Possible. And what that means is your seller can actually buy that rate down. So if they want to get 5% and say the rate's 7.5, then the seller can actually contribute, so they can get 5%, get a rate of 7.5, but the seller can still contribute up to 6% and help buy down that rate for them and get them in there. The nice thing is we do underwrite to FHA guidelines, so there's no income limit like Home is Possible. I still love Home is Possible, and I will always go to that product first. But on the other one, if we have someone that has like a non-occupying cosigner, or they make $150,000 a year and they limit it at 135, we have that option. We're not even going to discuss interest rates. I don't know what's going on.
So what is that program called?
They're so high. It's called Buyer's Choice. FHA's Buyer's Choice.
So when you say it's internal, this is an Epic
It is okay. So
product?
it is Epic for right now. But I will be honest with you. It is. It will be launched to other lenders eventually. It's just we ended up getting so CMG and Epic, we ended up getting a hop on that one. But they are talking, so eventually they will roll it out. But right now we do have the exclusivity on it. So.
You say it's not fixed though, right?
No, it is a 30-year fixed rate, but when you do Home is Possible, say the rate, so the rate was 6.875 on Friday, and yesterday, or Tuesday, it was 7.5, so, oh Lord. But you cannot buy down that 7.5 rate, because it's backed by, the state and, US Bank, so once they close, they get sold to US Bank. The seller cannot buy down, cannot manipulate that rate or do anything, so it's just a flat, that's what the interest rate is. So when I mean that ours is not fixed, like I said, if the rate is 7.5 and they want to buy it down to 7, the seller can contribute to buy that down. So that's but it is still a 30-year fixed rate, absolutely. And then like I said, they can get up to 5%. There are 2 programs, so if they have higher FICO scores, they get better rates, and that's kind of the thing where the Home is Possible If you have a 640 or an 840, it doesn't matter, your rate is still 7.5. With us, they will get that rate benefit. And, the other kicker on ours is we can go down to 620. So, they can, now there are some like more advanced ones, and so they would need to have a 680 on that, but we can go down to a 620.
More flyers?
Oh, I can copy some more and I'll bring them.
What's the name of the program?
Get it.
What?
It's called Buyer's Choice FHA. Yeah, I'll make some more copies and then just hand them in the back.
They're right next to you. Can you pass those?
Oh, okay, so.
Oh,
Never mind, okay.
I got some right here. It's
All right,
not
she'll
good.
make some more flyers for
Yeah.
everybody to have.
Yeah.
Any questions for Charity?
I'm gonna be doing, just real quick, April 6th, I will be doing this meeting, and we're going to kind of go over programs and stuff like that, so bring questions and things like that. I just did it Tuesday in the class, and it ended up just being a really great discussion. People got all their questions answered, so I'm trying to think of a game. I'm not very gamey, but I'm gonna figure one out, so we'll have prizes. But Nicole wants you guys to do funny prizes, so she's in charge. Thanks,
All right.
guys.
Thanks, Charity. Next, we have Rock Tile. They have nothing. I just want to bring attention to them that make sure that you support Rock Tile. We have Laura, escrow officer here. Jocelyn is marketing rep, and Felicia back there, she's waving to us, is also. Reach out to them if you have any questions. They're great, for marketing for your open houses, your farm, whatever. Great resource. So I always say utilize your resources, and Rock is a great resource for us. All right, let's do stats. Crazy. Freaking listings under 6,000 now, 5,900. That's, it wasn't that long ago, we were over 10,000 listings and thinking it was just gonna continue to go up and up and up. Our under contract sold is, that number was down to like 1,600. Now it's up to 23. Months of inventory got up to 5 months there for a while. And now it's down to 2.5 months. What does all this mean?
Seller's market.
Seller's market. We're back to a seller's market. Who thought in such a short period of time we'd be back to a seller's market? I'm hearing more and more talk about multiple offers. Make sure you use your multiple offer counter addenda. But 2.5 months inventory is really getting low again. Median price is medium days on market, I should say, 51 days. That's way down as well. Let's look at just last week, the numbers. So last week, active listings was 6,337. Months inventory was 3.1. It's down to 2.5 now. So, and then 1,971. And now this week, it's crazy. So the market is what the market is. There's transactions to be had, there's deals to be had. It doesn't matter what market we're in. Been doing this for 28 years and seeing a lot of different markets, and I'll tell you, there's money to be made in all markets. Again, I'll say, careful what you ask for, because we were complaining when there was, too many listings. Now, we're getting down low on the listings again. So, it is what it is, and there's buyers out there and there's sellers out there. But here's one thing. Now this is only resale. The new homes are going crazy as well. So if you have buyers, take them into new home subdivisions because they have the ability to offer low rates with buy downs. There's builders out there that are doing 3 and 4% interest rates with buy downs. So if you're working with buyers, don't forget the new homes.
Taylor Mason just sent an email that they dropped their prices anywhere from 80 to 100,000 on all their homes.
Taylor Morrison.
Taylor Morrison, she says drop their prices. Don't you hate to hear that right now? Paul and I just, Paul and I closed on a new, both new homes, last year, and when we're seeing our builders lowering prices, it's just, it kills us. But you know what? We have beautiful homes, don't we?
No regrets.
Yeah, me neither. I don't care how much they lower the prices in the area. I have no regrets on my house at all, so. And buyers out there, you know, once you get them in houses, most of them will feel the same way. All right? Any questions at all? Now, we'll put this on our social media. It will go out in tomorrow's newsletter. So, you know, we provide the information. So, you know, we educate you so that you can educate your buyers and sellers. All right. Next up, we have solar. When selling a home with solar gives you problems. Who's had problems with a solar transaction? This is and how to handle them. Mike Calvert with Solar Certified Pro. Come on up, Mike.
All right. There are more flyers here. I originally had not printed enough, so if you want more, okay, they're right here. Is this by chance the computer? Because I can pull up a slide.
It clearly is.
I can pull up a slide. It might be easier for you guys.
Get rid of this. And you need to go to Google. There you go.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Nobody steal my passwords here. Hope I don't.
Nobody look at his password.
Hope I don't pull up anybody's personal email here.
I got mine.
What'd you say? Yeah, I'll just tell you. Just so you guys know, today really is more of a ask questions type of day, because I would imagine you guys being real estate agents and me being a solar person, you probably have more experience and questions than I have answers just to present to you. Okay? So, now I can use this, right? Hopefully. By way of introduction, this is how it started. I got into solar. I was selling just like everybody. I was knocking doors. I was your favorite person, right? You guys love solar people. And I'm 38. Right? I started this when I was 36, and I was just, I'm a little bit older. I like answers. I like information. And so I was unique in my industry, that I wanted the answers and I wanted the information. So I started to dig and I started to realize, holy cow, like solar's not that expensive, right? It's not that expensive. And the company I was working with, although they do a good job, I just thought I probably can do this better for less and be more fair to my customers. So I started a solar installing sales company. Okay, cool. We got brought on by a brokerage because it just made sense. Real estate agents, you guys work with homeowners, home buyers, right? And you build trust way better than we do, right? For a long time if you need to. And if they ask for solar, why not try to be the relationship, the solar people that you trust, right? So it just made sense to me. Broker brought us in, Coldwell Banker, and said, hey, we want you to educate our agents. I was like, okay. And I was like, yeah, of course. It was awesome. But I started to think about it. Why do they want me to educate their agents? And it was really, this is what I came up with, and maybe you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, who avoids listings with solar? Just raise your hand if you do it. Okay. Who has had a bad experience and just like, when they see it, they're like, kind of cringe a little bit when they're solar. Yeah, that's fine. So I was like, oh, people must be losing deals or not getting the deal done because of a solar system. That's why he wants me to educate. So we started to come up with all these courses to try to make you guys professionals of solar. And really quickly I was like, that's not what he wants. He just wants you guys to sell houses. Mark wants you to sell houses, right? Your Realty One group wants you to sell houses and wants somebody to help overcome those obstacles when you come into them. So we came up with a concierge service. Hey Mike, it's name, Mark, right? Paul. Hey Mike, it's Paul. I got a listing, it's got solar. I don't want to deal with it. Can you handle it? Yeah, cool. Give me the MLS, because I want to make sure that the seller's not misrepresenting the system. Had that happen multiple times. Oh, it's all paid off. No, it's not. Yeah. You bought out the contract, but it's still sun runs, right? So I want to make sure that the MLS matches what they're saying. Okay, give you the contract, I'll read it over for you and make sure that it's even something that can be transferred, because some only allow for one transfer. Okay, and then we'll work to get all the warranties over. When you guys sell houses, what do you have to make sure gets transferred? The financials, right? If it's a loan, you gotta get the loan to the new person. If it's a lease, PBA, PBA, right? That's all you have to do, and then you can close, right? Yeah, that's all you have to do. But what about the warranty for the panels? What about the warranty for the inverter? What if the installer is out of business? What about turning it on like you turn on your gas when you move into a house? What about turning on the net metering program, right? You don't have to do any of that to sell the listing, right? But as high-end real estate agents that you are, you probably want to deliver that service. And that's where we really can come in and help make you shine, okay? In addition to that, what we offer, this is called a comprehensive transfer. So we make sure your panel warranty, inverter warranty, the monitoring app on the phone that every homeowner has, because that's not your job as real estate agents, right? It's not. But if there's an app and they can monitor how much they're producing, don't you think they want that? Of course they do. We can help sit down with your homeowner, buyer, seller, whoever it is, and make sure that they have all these things turned on. Why isn't this automatic? And this is where I'm not scared to bash on my industry, okay? You guys have real estate licenses, correct? If you sell unethically or do something wrong, what can happen? You're gonna lose your license. We don't. We can sell, oversell, we can do anything we want, and you can't do anything to us, right? That's the industry that exists right now, and it's a billion-dollar industry. Okay, we don't have licenses. I can sell you and make $20,000 commission, walk out the door 2 hours later, and you can't do anything to me. So that's why this isn't automatic, because it's a take your money and run kind of situation with solar. In a lot of cases, there are some good companies, don't let me fool you here, but that's why this stuff isn't already just automatically happening, right? Does it happen with some of them? Yeah, Sunrun's an all-in-one company. Ion is an all-in-one company. SolUp is an all-in-one company. So one phone call for the transfer gets everything done for you. Not the monitoring app and stuff like that, but everything else that's important, okay? That's why it's not automatic. Does that make sense? Okay. The other big thing that we do, and we're trying to expand in this, is we'll do system inspections. Anybody had a home inspector go in and inspect a system? No, because they shouldn't. Okay, one home inspector went out and said, it's not working. And it ruined the deal for my agent. And I went out that same day and I turned it on. And I said, actually it is working, it's working perfectly fine. One panel's down, but I'm sorry you lost this deal because your home inspector, who's not working within his scope of practice, told you that. So we offer solar system inspections to make sure the conduit's proper, to make sure that the panels are all producing and producing the way they should be, to make sure there's no pigeon problems, right? Home inspectors don't get on the roof and inspect that stuff, okay? And we're not trying to down on them, we're trying to partner with them if anything. So if you send out a home inspector and it has solar, we can just group it all into one.
What is the current rate for your system inspection?
Good question. So this is a paperwork type of thing, and this is $150. Okay. You don't want to have any headache when you're selling the listing or purchasing it with the paperwork. We'll do it all for you.
That's the concierge service.
That's the concierge service.
Okay.
$350 for the inspection.
Okay.
Okay. There are situations where you don't need our help on this. Okay.
Just the inspection.
Just the inspection. And we know what the warranties look like, because we all understand how warranties work. You can breathe on it wrong and it's gone.
So you give us a report on that?
We do a full system inspection report, pass or fail, what needs to be fixed, etc. Okay? In addition to this service, the unfortunate facts are that in 7 to 10 years, when that tax credit goes away, okay, or the market's just saturated. First company I was with, they do 100 and 150 deals every single month, and that's one of the 40 companies in Las Vegas. Okay, solar is happening. The days of avoiding listings is not getting easier, right? Those are gone. Okay, they're selling as fast as they can. The rate's going up. This summer, your bill last summer is going to be probably like at least 45% higher.
Yeah.
They're just encouraging people to do this. Right? And again, no license, no ethics if they don't want to, and nothing that they can do about it, right? So, We try to fill gaps. Again, coming back to 7 to 10 years, tax credits gone, people will start to bounce out of this industry. We're seeing it already a lot. Installers made their money and they're gone.
Okay, clarify something for me.
Yes.
The concierge service, is that for the seller or is that for the buyer?
It's for, typically it's for the buyer, for the
Okay.
paperwork, or the seller, to be honest.
Before they lease it.
Yeah, if you wanna list if you wanna list something that has solar, but you just wanna make sure there's no problems by the time you get to it, call us.
And then the system inspection could be either way, but mostly it's geared towards the buyer.
Yeah, I would imagine, right, if you're a seller and you know there might be an issue and your seller does not wanna do anything about it, don't have a system inspection, right? But if you're a buyer, you obviously wanna know that everything's working the right way.
So if you have a listing and you're working with the seller and you get the system going, will they also assist the buyer in kind of merging the two together to make it a smooth transaction?
Yeah, and I thought that if you were the buying agent, I would just work with you, but the truth is that I end up on the phone with both, and I actually end up on the phone with the buyer and the seller themselves, because there's paperwork and signatures that have to be done, and as easy as it probably should seem, it can be hard, right?
So you need to
That's
let
why
our
you guys sit in a
clients-
room and you have them sign in front of you all those papers, is because they can say I did it, and it's like, no, you didn't, right? So we will walk hand in hand with both sides to escrow until the closing, yes.
So I've had two with Tesla, and we were probably about 3 weeks past closing date on both of them because of customer service issues. You guys have ways around that? You guys know how to make that happen?
We've done quite a few with Tesla. I have a good rep there that I work with. Okay, so write this down. If you ever have a listing, 2 weeks. You need to give yourself 2 weeks on a loan. 4 if you're doing a lease or a PPA. It's just best practice. Okay, you got to give yourself time, because like this happens, they don't care. Tesla doesn't care. Sunrun doesn't care about your closing date and about your commission. They don't care, right? And they're hourly paid employees, and whether you get the email in on time or not, they're leaving at 5 o'clock so they can go home and do what they want to do. They're not concerned about your commission, okay, or your close or your customers. So give yourself 2 weeks on a loan, 4 weeks on a PPA or a lease.
What do you mean PPA?
Sure, great question.
Power purchase agreement.
Power purchase agreement.
Okay.
Think about it this way. You got a great backyard, I wanna put a garden there, it's my garden, but you can buy any of the produce that comes out of it at a cheaper rate than the grocery store. Does that make sense? Right, it's still my garden. And at the end of our contract, because I love your backyard, at the end of our contract, I'll come take my garden back.
What was,
Or maybe I'll let you buy it.
what was the PPA?
Power purchase agreement.
Okay, so how does that garden relate?
I wanna use your roof, and I wanna put my solar system on your roof. And energy that is produced off of my solar system on your roof, you can buy from me, right? Currently, a cube, which we call a kilowatt hour, of energy from NV Energy is 14.04 cents. Okay, 6 months ago it was 11, so it's going up significantly. So it's 14 cents. If I put my system on your roof and I sell you the power that it produces, I'll sell it at 10 cents. Does that make sense? But it's still my system.
Yeah.
And anything that it overproduces, that's me. And the tax credit, that's mine. It's not yours.
Hey, Mike,
So.
Yes.
what percentage of the solar systems are PPAs?
Solar City, anybody remember them?
Yes.
Absorbed by Tesla, every single one of them. Okay, so we see that a lot, because it was a hot item back then. But they are still running PPAs. I think that people are getting a little bit more excited about the 30% tax credit, so you're gonna see more loans. But it's probably, man, it's probably 60-40, and this is a total guess, 60-40, 60 being loan and PPA, and 40 being, lease and PPA, and 40% being loans or ownership, right, cash deals.
So the PPA falls under the leased product and not the ownership product?
It's more like that,
Okay.
yeah.
Are there any companies still doing PPAs?
Question, is PPA just for leases? Or?
It's totally separate thing. So if I lease, like I lease a car, I can drive it anywhere, I can put gas, any benefits of that car I get. You lease it to me, it's basically mine for a while. A PPA is not the same, right? So if my solar system overproduces, I need 10 of those little kilowatts and it produces 15. That extra 5 belongs to me in a PPA. In a lease, it belongs to you.
And you just purchase the panels outright without a loan or anything like that, is the PPA still involved?
No, that would be a cash or a loan, or a purchase, yes.
So the cash or loan, the owner gets most of the benefits.
The owner gets most of the benefits,
Yeah.
correct,
Doesn't,
yeah, yes.
doesn't it go back to NV Energy though, if there's any leftover, doesn't NV Energy get co-fund?
Yes, so, but there's a net metering program, okay? I should pull it up, but I won't, okay. Your system, your homeowner's solar systems are supposed to be designed to cover the average amount of energy that you use through the year, okay? In March, April, May, and even some of June, we have the longest daylight, right? And we have the lowest bills. We blow our AC the least, right? All that extra that we produce but don't use is set aside like rollover minutes on a cell phone bill, and you get 75% of it back for June, July, and August, where we're blowing our AC and our kids are inside because it's 116 degrees and we're using crazy energy. That's what the net metering program is. It's like rollover minutes on a cell phone bill. It's not 1-to-1. It's 3/4 to $1. It's 75%. Does that make sense? And that's a big reason why solar makes so much sense. Okay. Was there another question over there?
Why can't somebody be totally off the grid?
Because Berkshire Hathaway and my man,
Yeah,
what's his
Buffett.
name,
Warren
will
Buffett.
not ever let you.
Nope.
cause he owns
We're a
NV
monopoly.
NV.
We voted in 2018 to not allow for deregulation, meaning more energy companies and choices if we wanted to. We voted to keep it a monopoly.
Which sucks.
But I have been in states and cities where it is
Utah, right?
deregulated, and you'd think it's better, and it's not. Not always, not always.
Wow.
So-
Isn't Utah one that they can keep their, is Utah?
1-to-1, yeah, 1-to-1. Utah's a 1-to-1, Texas is deregulated, and that's where I was working, was Austin, and it wasn't that it was bad, it was just a little bit of a nightmare. So anyways, there are some good things about NV Energy, and to hit on that good thing, solar works, okay, it works, and it's a good alternative if you have, number one, a representative that you can trust. Again, they can walk in and make more than you guys as real estate agents in an hour and a half sitting with a customer and walking out and never talking to them again. Okay? So having an agent that you can trust. Number two is the inverter system. Okay? Everybody know how solar works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Sorta.
Okay, if not, you're the same as me like 2 years ago. The sun hits the panel and the protons and electrons, they bounce around, and that's energy. If we all ran around in a circle in this room, there would be heat and energy, right? That's raw, that's direct current energy, and then it goes through a mechanical little device called an inverter to convert it into alternating current energy, or AC, that's usable. That piece of equipment, anybody plug in your phone and the back gets hot? That's energy, right? So at 116 degrees in summer here in Vegas, plus raw energy, those little inverters will probably fail, okay? Micro inverters, which any good company here in Vegas will use, that's on every single panel. That way, if you lose one, you just lose the one, right? It used to be like a Christmas tree. If you lost the one big one on the side of the house, they're all gone. And now you're paying for your solar loan, and you're paying for NV Energy to give you the energy, right? So the micro inverters. Sales rep you can trust, micro inverter system. And then the warranties, right?
How about where the product's made?
Products made is a good one if those tariffs ever do come into play, which they could, right? The shipping from Taiwan and stuff like that. There's a lot of US produced panels, same price and everything like that. But I will say, and this is, I apologize, this is more like a solar pitch, I apologize.
That's
but
okay, we need to be educated.
Anybody who's reputable is using a tier 1 panel. Okay, and a tier 1 panel after the first year, no problems, you're probably not gonna have any problems. And that's a beautiful thing about Las Vegas. We have a lot of sun with very little softball-sized hail, right? Nothing's gonna fall out of our sky except for maybe like a dead pigeon once in a while that's going to actually break your solar panel and cause there to be significant repairs, right? So tier 1 panels, after a year or a year and a half, if the panels are all producing the way they should be, then you're probably not gonna have a problem. honestly, right? The warranties from our company, at least I'll just speak to our company, 25-year on the panel, it's a degradation warranty, so if it degrades to a certain amount, then you get a replacement. And the inverters, which we use the micros, 25-year infinite replacements, right? And that should be any good company. Workmanship is the nuts and bolts of the penetration in the roof and stuff like that, which you guys probably worry a little bit more about, like the actual stability of the roof when you're selling or purchasing. That's 10 to 25 years across the board for most companies.
What about labor? Do you guys charge for that, or that's included with the warranty? When you come out to take care of those problems?
Right. Some companies will charge you a service call, some will not. It just depends, right? Like, if you have a workmanship warranty through us, we'll probably just include the labor because we care. We're
Is that
small,
included
mom
with
and
your
pop.
price, or it's just an additional upcharge for like, when you go into the system with yours?
When you go to the, no, it's not an upcharge. It's just part of it.
Part of it.
Yeah. Does that make sense? Yes, go ahead.
So if the previous solar company is out of business and then no one is maintaining the solar, then you can come.
Right, exactly. So that's what we're trying to do. We looked 5 to 10 years down the road and said, you know, we can keep South Solar, that's great, just be like everybody else. Or we can see the problem coming and try to set up a service to help clean up the mess. Installer's out of business. We offer a supplemental workmanship warranty, right? We can, assuming that the inspection goes well, because we'll inspect before we warranty it, right?
Okay.
We can offer other warranties as well, but most manufacturers are still in business, most, some are not.
So the certified solar code is totally separate from your solar installation company?
Sol Verde Solar is our sales and installation company. Solar Certified Pro is the concierge service that we're trying to really build up that does not exist.
It's two separate companies.
Agent Assist, think about it like an agent assist program. Yeah. This, oh yeah, active assistance. That was kind of to your question, like we will walk with you guys till it closes. We will not check out until it's a done deal. This is our community board. It's free. I'm hoping that that QR code works. It's just an easy way. That goes to our website. This is a community board, so it will ask you to join. It'll probably send some random message, which I'm not a tech guy. Like I built this myself. It's terrible. Sorry, don't judge me. But you can type in. It's like a chat board. Back in the days, we just had chat boards because there wasn't, Facebook and all that stuff. You can type in, hey, I got a contract, and someone will read it for me, and a pro will get back to you, read the contract, etc. This is 24/7 access to basically us. Right, so I would just suggest now, like taking a picture, having it, because you never need us until you need us, and then you forget who we are, right? Our Instagram. I'm trying not to rock this solar boat so they don't disappear me one night, okay? But we do try to do more raw material for you guys, okay? We would love your support on Instagram if you'd be willing to, and then if you have solar on your house, raise your hand. Good experience, bad experience?
Great experience.
Has it been?
Yeah.
Good. It can work. It can work.
Works great. Had them 2 houses actually, so.
There you go. This is our website information. It should be, you can get it off that QR code on the flyer. Snap a photo there, maybe share it with your friends. We'll switch to 5, 4, 3. And then you can request, we're not big on the whole knock at the door, come in the house, sit on your couch and pressure sell you, right? It's not how we do business. We would prefer to do a quote and send it to you via email, and you follow up with us if you want it, right? This is if you want to quote for your own home. You just enter your email or the information it asks for you, and you can get a quote done like in the same day, okay? Do you guys have any questions about the concierge, what we do for real estate agents, stuff like that?
Regardless of who did the install, who the buyer or seller purchased it from, you assess all that.
Yeah, no matter who put it on, anything like that, we can come out and do an inspection for you.
Yeah, sometimes there's clients that probably don't know where their paperwork is, and you guys can kind of figure that out for them and things like that. Like, you know what I mean? I had friends that are agents in California, and they have a problem finding out. They don't even remember who they got the solar from.
Yeah.
Basically, like I don't even know the name of it. They don't keep a paperwork. Everybody's
Yeah.
responsible. Is there a way that system you guys use something to kind of like figure out, you guys have it in place to figure out who sold it or where it's at or anything like that? Or
Um,
you just take over from that point on?
if we can get a hold of the inverter, which is the box on the side of the house, there's
Right.
always like QRs and stuff. If we can get a hold of them, we can typically track down that information. If they bought cash or it's completely paid off, they may not be able to call the financial institution that lent them the loan and find out, but that's typically the easiest way, right? Call the bank and be like, hey bank, this is the address. Oh yeah, here's the account, blah, 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 blah.
Does Nevada Energy have any of those documents? Like what's the relationship once you have it installed with the company with Nevada Energy? There's
Yeah.
gotta be some kind of communication.
Yes, they have all those documents. Whether they are willing to give them or not is like, depends on how nice you are on the phone to the right agent. That's my experience. Otherwise, they're like, yeah, we don't have that. It's like, yes, you do.
Well, maybe that's something you should be
We
the
are trying.
liaison.
We are trying. We are trying. Nevada Energy is a monopoly, and so they can be
Yeah.
terrible if they want to.
Yeah.
But we try. Try our best. Yes.
How do your inspections go? Like a house has solar has warranty, and you go in for an inspection and you find a panel's broken. Should the seller fix that before that under their warranty before they move, or when the new buyer comes in, can they use that warranty in your inspection and say, look, we have a panel broken, we want it fixed under warranty? How does that work?
Yeah, so let's say you call me and you're like, Mike, we're gonna do it. Okay, cool. I go out, do an inspection, there's a panel broken, which has happened before. As long as the manufacturer of the panels are still in business, we can call and we'll do the legwork for you. There will be a charge, but we'll do the legwork for you to find the panel, track it down, and have it shipped out. Okay? At that point, you know, like we'll probably charge a service fee to go in, turn off the system, replace it for you. But we can do that, or depending, we don't want to touch it until you find out what the warranty coverage is from the company who's still in business. Yeah.
So that'd be a negotiation between buyer and seller on who's gonna pay for that.
Yes. Yeah.
So, do you, like, after the inspection, do you maintain that solar too?
Only if they want us to be their warranty holder,
Yeah.
because the installer's out of business. Otherwise, again, it gets very finicky. If the installer is in business, you need to make sure that we're not voiding anything for you, right?
Like any warranty.
Yeah, that makes sense?
Yeah.
Cool.
How about the advancement of the technology? I mean, is it like something that was purchased 5 years ago? Is it so antiquated that it, you know, compared to today's products? I mean, what's the turnover of the technology, if that makes any sense?
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of like the efficiency of cars. Okay, cars in and of themselves have not changed that much. 4 tires, they roll, right? Fill them with gas or electricity, whatever, right? But cars haven't changed too much. The efficiency has changed. Same thing with us, right? The same size panel, those little silfab or those little cells can produce more, right? So we replaced a 300 watt panel with a much smaller 300 watt panel, if that's a good example. As far as like the tech they're starting to roll out, we follow Sunrun and we follow Ion. If those two companies start to do things different, we take notice. Otherwise, I don't really pay attention too much, right? The solar roofs that you're seeing maybe on advertisements, if you're not, you will now because your phones are all listening to me talk. Those solar roofs, there's just so many questions behind that tech, right? If you have a leak, you gotta take the whole roof off. How much is that gonna cost, right? So advancements will come. It's just once the money catches up with the tech, then you'll start to see changes. But solar technology is so simple and basic. There's not too much that would change from there.
Rolling off of that question, does your company or is there any companies that will update a panel, they get new technology, will they come and replace it, or is it cost extra? How does that process work?
It probably costs extra, but most companies, if it's still warranty, we'll just try to track down that same panel somewhere, right? Before they just say, oh yeah, your F-150 2015 broke down, here's a 22. Like, they're not gonna do that. They're gonna try to find you a 2015, right? First and foremost.
No, I just know you can't.
Yes.
How long is the life of the solar panel?
The solar panel is warranted for 25 years, and that's just them covering themselves. Again, without the weather, with very good weather like we have, aside from like cleaning them with a cleaning company, you're probably looking 40 to 50 years, right? Will the degradation happen? Absolutely, right? Most companies start at 100% production, and over 25 years, you'll probably see on year 25, if everything goes well, 87, 88% production, right? But if you purchased it, that just means whatever more energy comes from it after the 25 years, which the loan's already paid off, it's just basically free energy, right? A good way to think about it is like this. Solar is like saying, hey, I'll give you 70 gallons of gas every month at $2 a gallon, right? And when it was $2.25, you'd be like, I don't know. But we all know what happened, right? We all would have taken that deal, right? And you would say to me, well, what if I need 100 gallons? I can only give you 70, but that extra 30, you're gonna have to go to 7-Eleven and pay market prices. But are you gonna say no to the 70 just because you have to go get 30 from over there? No, of course you're not. You're still gonna take it, right? So that might be something you guys see a lot too, is they're still getting an NV Energy bill, a significant NV Energy bill. Depending on how the salesman sold it, it's still a good deal. Yeah, they have to go get the extra from NV Energy, but at least they're getting this at that locked in low rate, right? That makes sense?
Some people can't get 100% offset either.
Yeah, some roofs, we're working with the sun, right? So cloudy months or roofs aimed east or north or something like that versus south and west, you're just gonna have different variables, yes.
And one more time, the price for the concierge service for both the paperwork and the service?
Yep, if you wanna do the whole thing, it's $500, and that's all the paperwork, all the loan transfer, the warranty transfer, the monitoring app, and the system inspection. Yeah. Yeah, and we are trying, if you guys have good connections with home inspectors, we're trying to partner with them to make it a lot easier, yes.
So you handle the transfer?
We handle the transfer. And,
I was gonna say, as a lender, that is a huge deal for us. God knows. So, you know, the thing is, solar salespeople are amazing. They're the most incredible people you'll ever meet. Solar customer service, which is what we're dealing with, your title company is dealing with, not so hot. They do not answer their phones, they do not return emails. So it seems like it would be an extra party in there, but that extra party can expedite your closing, keep your closing on time. Us as lenders getting paperwork, knowing how it's recorded affects how it is calculated in the loan. Also, if that new buyer has to qualify for something as well. So, you know, I had never heard of this before, and I'll be honest, when solar people come to my door, I'm not the nicest salesperson. I'm like, get out, I don't want you. Because as a lender, it's not solar that I don't like, it's the back end that I don't like. And so I can really say that right there is a ginormous benefit. I will definitely, if I see a contract come over, I'm giving you guys my name.
So you need to know as a lender if the buyer's taken over that lease, because that's gonna affect their monthly payment.
Exactly, yep.
And
depending on how it's recorded, I mean, I ended up getting bypassed and it was doing in the dead, but somehow like the first, because solar doesn't always have to be recorded on a deed.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it a lien?
Like, yeah, it's not always, so it's not like we can just pull title and figure it out. So this one happened to be, this was a great, excellent buyer, which was the seller at the time. And he ended up they never recorded it on his property, so when it came to underwriting, they kept trying for me to move it into the payment part. This was actually one of Linda Jo's clients, like a family friend of hers. So when I had it as a debt, it was fine, but when I moved it into part of the housing payment, like your HOA, your SIDS and LIDs, it actually removed my approval. So I spent 2 weeks having to argue, fight. I was not able to get a hold of the actual solar company, but I was able to get a hold of the loan company, had to go all the way up to their VP and fight and stuff like that. It was weeks of doing that, where if I would have had someone that could just kind of expedite that for me in the beginning, because once we see solar, you know, or the agent says, hey, this property has solar, we're on it from day one, but it's still very difficult. We're a third party. They do not want to deal with us. They don't have permission, they don't have all that. So I can say that service is a service that I think is, you know, untouchable.
So if somebody does a loan, it's not automatic a lien on a lien on the title?
Not always. I was told by the bank that it kind of depended, like, if they considered it like risky or something. Like a lot of banks do, because they want to make sure that they always get paid, like you can't sell or do it, but this one just happened to not. And I don't know if it's because I had such a strong, like that seller had perfect credit, perfect everything. It was like through Tesla or something like that, so.
So how about you? Do you, when you sell and it's gonna be leased, does it get recorded on the title?
It doesn't.
No.
It doesn't always. It
Doesn't
sometimes
always.
does, it doesn't have to be. And they reserve the right to record it at any time. We've had them pop up because they knew it was selling. We've had them pop up last minute. So,
The lender decides whether to record it or not the seller.
yeah, the UCC is not always recorded for the solar. So the title company, I try to look at pictures when we open deals to see if there's solar on there, so we're ahead of the game.
Okay.
But it's always a good idea to let your title company know there's solar that needs to be transferred, and have your seller, if you're on the listing side, start the process as soon as possible.
And this is only if it's financed. If it's outright
Right.
owned, that doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Right?
right. So
Okay.
it's been my experience that PPAs and leases tend to have they're required to get the UCC termination, right? That's been my experience. The loans that I've dealt with so far, they could close tomorrow, but because there's no lien, right? There's no release that has to happen. However,
Do you think that's
probably wanna
gonna
make sure-
change? I mean, I think if it's tied to the house, there should be, just to make everything consistent.
I'm not
with the
sure.
loan.
We're
It has to get
pushing,
regulated.
yeah, we're pushing for legislation. We sent an article through Lombardo's board, so we'll see. But again, it's a really big lucrative industry that I'm sure many people who make many decisions are getting nice big fat checks.
Well, this is good to know whether it's
So-
on the title or not.
To just bounce off of her real quick, I had a situation where the homeowner, the buyer was in California and didn't wanna have anything to do with it, right? Wrote off consent for us to basically handle it. So we made an email account for him and took over the whole transfer for him. And he only got approved for $10,000 less than what the payoff was. And I have a lot of connections. So I called the lender and I said, you know, my friend, I said, hey man, I just need help. And we got it all, right? So it would have killed the deal. It was like a day away from closing. And so again, we will try our very best to go to bat with everybody to help the best we can.
Is that part of your concierge service to check to see whether it's on title or not?
Well, we have to,
Yeah.
right? Otherwise, you wouldn't hire us because you'd have to do all the work anyways. Yeah, we have to, yeah. Is there any other questions on that? No?
So a buyer has to qualify for it to take over that lease payment, in addition to
Yeah.
mortgage.
Yeah, so,
And that's
yeah,
a
we'll
good
get loan
point.
people.
That's a good point, yeah.
Is that
If
the
you're,
initial part of the process to?
yes, it should be a part of the initial part, right? If you have a buyer who's qualified for $450 or whatever, and the house price is $450, but there's a solar loan, you're either paying that off, seller's paying it off, or whatever, because you're just not gonna be able to get a $50,000 loan on top of the $40,000. It's just not gonna happen. Right, so make sure
Well,
you
and that's
work with your
important to know.
financial.
We, in most cases, like I said, that one I had to argue on. Generally speaking, 99% of the time, it's like a car payment. That's the way we look at it. We don't look at it as part of the house. So that is the difference, and that comes down to, like I said, the only, which I got the underwriter, the only,
Part of your debt to income ratio.
it's part of our, yeah, but there's two debt to incomes. You have a housing.
Right.
So like I said, this buyer was like a 43 front end. She didn't really have any debt, and then like with that payment, she was a 46. Well, when they tried to move that to my house payment, it made me a 46 over 46. She didn't qualify anymore. So it's really important that you guys know that we have two ratios to deal with. 99% of the time, it's gonna go in the total ratio, not the housing ratio, which is where we want it. But again, that's getting up to make sure they qualify, because if like you said, if they're 450, we're not looking at the 500, that's not how we're looking at it as like a car payment or a credit card. We just need to make sure that they still qualify with the ratios. If they were at that max ratio, then that can blow the deal. I mean, we've had that happen before.
Yes, sir.
So, as agents, when we list the buyer or sellers, from your experience, would you suggest anything that we need to put in the contract regarding solar issues?
Okay, so I'll read your contracts. They're really easy. Just call me first, right? Because you will get, if they have anybody helping them on the buying side and you're the lister and you misrepresent it, you'll be in trouble, right? Not legally, but they can come back and be like, you said this and it's not. So, yeah, call to make sure that the MLS listing is proper. Did that answer your question? One last quick note on lending or the banks. Don't refinance your solar loan with a personal bank, okay? The difficulty in transferring that loan, if you ever sold the house from you to a new person and they have to qualify through Chase or American First or something like that, is nearly impossible, okay? And you'll be in a negotiation state of, well, will you pay it off? Will I pay it off? Because the banks that do solar take a huge dealer fee, and that's why solar is more expensive than it used to be, in order to make sure that they can transfer from one person to the next, the same rate, same payment, same everything, and it's pretty seamless, okay? So I would just say, if your person's like, I'll just refinance it and get a better rate or whatever, like, they'll never sell that house. They'll never pass that loan off, right? Very, very hard.
I refinanced. I bought mine through my, when it was 2.5, and I rolled into the house,
Did you
so
roll
it's
into
paid
the
off.
house? Yeah, so that's
So I
good.
didn't have to pay any dealer fees or
Yeah,
anything like that.
roll into the house, that's one thing, but I've seen people do like their own financial institutions and then they go to sell and they.
So someone could get like a home equity line and then just pay cash for it and pay the.
Yeah.
There's better ways to go.
And that's kind of how you get it added into the value. See, that's what people don't understand.
Is
if
that
it's
good or bad?
finance, like, people don't understand, the appraiser, and I'm not an appraiser, so let me just course that, but that's where it kind of gets questionable. But if you paid cash or did that where it's a HELOC, there's absolutely no lien financing on it. That is how I believe appraisers are able to add a portion of it to the value. That's my understanding.
As a lender, what do you wanna see? Do you wanna see a HELOC that they bought it, or do you would?
I don't
would you rather
care.
see-
I just want to make sure my buyer qualifies. I don't really care about any of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. You guys got it?
Yeah.
Call me anytime, okay? I'm always there if you have any questions or anything like that. And I have cards back here with Mike first. Okay, he's my videographer, awesome buddy, who's gonna be helping with the accounts. And he's got a bunch of cards for you if you want. These cards.
Awesome.
Awesome.
You go to the accounts around every now and then, bring donuts and stuff. You okay with that? Every now and then, bring donuts and stuff.
Thank you all. Remember, no matter how you slice it, greatness is a choice. Let's go out there and be great.